Hey, Eric.
What's up, man?
Hey, did you know that people can support our podcast on patreon.com?
Beer?
www.patreon.com/retroam is where they can go to support
Internet,
us.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, the internet's wonderful. I like the internet. Now, would you like to hear some hot sounds that I recorded?
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast series about Xenogears. Tonight, we're heading into Solaris to beat up all the fascists, kill their leaders, and establish peace in the world.
Shit.
Or to kill God. One or the other, not sure. We're going to find out. My name's Chris. I'm joined tonight by my friend Eric. Hey, Eric.
That was a good intro, Chris.
Yeah,
that's
you.
top 5. Way to go, man.
Great. It's been a while since I've really felt like I nailed it, and I feel like I nailed it.
This episode was almost recorded last week, but Chris destroyed his microphone this week, so please enjoy Chris on a brand new microphone.
Yes,
listeners.
thank you to our patrons, by the way. We're going to have to update our, by the time this comes out, they'll know, but we're going to have to update our patrons on where we're investing our money because we decided to go ahead and upgrade the equipment instead of the software. So here we are.
One of the equipment. I still have the moderate poor person microphone.
It's pretty good. It's a good starter microphone. Now we're just getting into the real shit now. So it's been a while since I've actually played this section of the game. So I'm curious, where did we leave off? Like, what's the last thing that happened? It was the gate stuff, right?
Yeah, I believe we defeated the third gate, the depth, and then the plan was Solaris revealed itself in that weird cutscene, and then we were going to infiltrate Solaris. And
they dropped us off in, when the last chapter ended, they dropped us off in Shavat. So we started this particular playthrough, or the section in Shavat, and I did a tiny bit of additional wandering in Shavat, just to kind of see what people had to say, if there's any new dialogue. I didn't find a ton, but I found something that it might be new or it might just be something that we missed last time.
Yeah.
But a lady says something that stuck with me, owned me, killed me. A lady says, the powerless are maimed and slaughtered, all because those crazed leaders give one bloodlusted order. It doesn't matter how advanced their technology or culture is. It's the same thing. Not one thing has changed over the years. It's gotten so sad, you can almost laugh. Ha! How long does it have to last? And I love this quote because it describes the current state of the world, like of the post 9/11 world, but it was written before 9/11
during the Clinton impeachment.
Yeah, assuming this line is closely translated to how it was originally. This was written by pre 9/11 Japanese people, and I think it's like prophetic, kind of. It's weird. It kind of.
Well, it's one of those things that history doesn't really change; just repeats itself over and over in slightly different contexts.
Yeah. One of those things. So. I forgot that we were supposed to go talk to the Queen to initiate the sequence, so I got in the Yggdrasil.
Okay. Yeah. Did you leave or did you just walk around?
I launched. I was like, all right, let's go. Where do we go? I thought I had to fly to Solaris.
Well, I was curious if you could see Solaris on the world map at that point.
No, you can't. Because I was like, did I break this game with emulation or something? But no, I did not.
Well, how'd you figure out where you actually needed to go? Because there's no like waypoint or mission list in this video game.
I just reset the game.
Okay. Smart move. Go back on your progress. Load previous save state.
But before I did that, I started flying around in the Yggdrasil. The one thing I noticed is the Thames is moving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like going. I was like, there's a moving thing. Maybe that's where I'm supposed to go. And the Thames is just floating around.
Does it have a circular pattern? Like, did you follow it and see where it goes?
I didn't follow it for that long because I was starting to get confused about where I was supposed to go. So, yeah.
I stopped. Did you check out Emeralda's gear in the gear dock?
No, I didn't know it was there already.
Yes, it is there. It's loud and proud.
Cool.
The operator guy says that the nanomachines from Emeralda's body physically merge with the gear for direct control.
Wow.
The gear should not require repairs, just Emeralda herself, and yet they still have to repair it at the gear dock.
Interesting. So, you know what's really interesting is that ostensibly Krelian has released Emeralda to us to kind of, I guess, like sort of own Faye and be like, confuse him because of the whole Faye is Kim thing.
And just to fuck with him.
But he also released a powerful gear to us. He said, here, adversary, not only are you going to take this nanomachine colony that I don't need anymore because I have the technology, but also have this gear that is essentially effectively an Omni-gear.
So that is a power move for sure, but maybe he's doing that because none of this shit matters.
That's true.
Like if he's already in the endgame state, then any kind of violence reciprocated toward him will not be effective.
His scenario is already complete and we're all going to turn to dust anyway, or whatever his end goals are. Interesting.
I did talk to Mason too, and perhaps he's always said this, but he says he'll be praying for our safety.
Oh, thank you, Mason. Yeah, I think this is the point too where the dialogue on the Yggdrasil has become stagnant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We've been frozen for like 4 or 5 chapters.
Choo-choo is ready to fight, and that's pretty much it.
That's it.
Nothing else is going to happen. So onward. In order to initiate the sequence, we have to talk to the Queen and hear about Citan's like well thought out plan.
But before that, we have to go into Solaris, the chapter title.
Oh yes, we are going into Solaris, by the way. Yes,
we have to make you pick the true chapter title. Chris, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Is the true title Paradise Upon the Sky, The Sweet Sky, or Eden in the Clouds?
Ooh, I like Eden in the Clouds.
Okay, that's correct. You win. Eden in the Clouds.
Congrats.
I also have an oversight or egregious correction.
Okay.
This is actually more of a correction on the game because when we reflected that laser off the mirror at Babel, we didn't reflect it, Chris. We refracted the laser.
Oh, yeah. Rico thought it was going to be a reflection and blow us up. But
Rico has a first grade education, Max.
Yes. Well, apparently so do we because we didn't correct ourselves during the conversation. So we struggle with vocabulary sometimes. But you know what? We have microphones, so whatever.
So we have to go listen to Citan.
Yeah, he's got... I think this time... Can we briefly rank Citan's plans?
All of them?
No, just
recall from memory right now. Are you insane?
Just the ones that I can recall from memory. Number one was the tournament plan, where his goal is to use Faye to distract the gambling guards so Bart can sneak in.
Rousing success.
Yeah, so it was a success, but should it have been? Probably not.
We encountered some resistance.
That's true. His other plan that I can think back to was the one that we just mentioned, the refraction plan.
Yeah,
which also he took some logical leaps to get to that point because he's like, well, these two pieces of technology are probably related to the same civilization. And he took some liberties in the assumptions that he made during that portion.
Yeah.
Now this particular plan here is a little bit more well thought out because he's like, Maria, you there, you the one with the gear that has some special abilities. You are going to fly us in on the Samson because apparently you have the ability to break through the Solaris force fields because of the nature of your gear.
That, and we also know that's a gear that can survive human pilots on the external shell.
Yeah, that's true.
Like maybe ours reach some kind of Mach speed where it just disintegrates human skin or some shit, but hers doesn't do that.
Yeah, maybe. It's weird. But it is time to go. Maria is the key to this. So I didn't really recall Maria having any sort of canonical purpose.
No, she's off.
Game, but
our party is chosen for us. It's Faye, Elly, and Citan.
Yes.
And it's interesting because Maria takes off and Flight plays. There's like unique takeoff stuff with Flight.
Yeah, it's a really cool launch sequence actually where we kind of see remember when we had to run down to Samson and we had encountered Dominion, that like green lit dock area?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And did you note how the gear is launched? It drops out of the bottom of Shavat.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's kind of cool.
Out of that little spire thing at the bottom?
Yeah,
the bottom tunnel that you think they would just like eject all the piss and shit through. It's actually for gears.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite things to happen in this game happens at this point. The shot, like as Maria's sort of getting ready to fly towards Solaris in her gear, the shot lingers on her for a second and she says, quote, "I'm coming, Solaris. Samson and I shall be the dark wings which carry you all to your deaths."
It's a good line.
And at that point, I decided that nobody is cooler than Maria, and I want to adopt her. I want her to be my daughter.
Did this influence Chris in the Tournament of Gears Volume 2? Subscribe to our Patreon to find out.
Patreon.com/RetroIM. Man, that is we've sold out. Now, here are 8 minutes of ads. No, I'm just kidding. We don't do that. So anyway, yeah, the party is riding in the Gear's hands.
Yeah, like I thought she was flying like Superman, but no, we're all cupped. Everybody is cupped in her hands.
Yeah. It's like they could have used one of those like Yggdrasil escape pods that Citan blasted off on after the desert sequence to get the Kislev. Couldn't she have carried them in that?
In anything?
And it's not just our party, it's everybody. Everybody is going.
Everybody's here. When I saw her, I thought she was flying like Superman. I immediately wanted the Proud Boys to fly their gears like Powdered Toast Man. Like ass out and backwards.
Are they ever going to show up again?
I don't know.
Oh,
maybe.
Man, it's unfortunate.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So there's a dramatic effect as the screen shakes when Samson breaks through the Solaris barrier. Like there's some drama to like, is it going to crack through or not?
Yeah.
But it does.
Yeah. As if we needed more game. Like, luckily it succeeded because we don't need more game here.
Like, I honestly wonder if the entire gate thing was just another one of Citan's like mysterious ruses. Like, it wasn't probably necessary because he knows where all this stuff's going, but he wanted to get them to destroy it anyway for dramatic effect because it can't be that easy.
Yeah. At that point, we have some parting moments between the party that we're going to control of Faye, Elly, and Citan, with everybody else the most important thing here is, oh shit, Hammer came too.
Yeah. Hammer popped out of there, and he tells us not to worry. And actually, there's a pull-out shot where it reveals that everyone's there, which is when you learn that everyone came on this for some reason.
Yeah, we've got to split up and gather info.
There's also a real weird... we're upside down.
Yeah, we're upside down. I thought maybe I had some emulation breaks.
No, yeah, I did too. I was like, is this supposed to be like this?
Also on Hammer, Rico's not comfortable with this. He's maybe not okay with Hammer coming.
Yeah, did you have his line?
No, I don't have his line.
He tells people that he just likes to watch others be miserable, and then he tells Hammer that he'll just get in the way.
Is the Rico?
It's a strained relationship. They've been roommates, not bathing down there, not taking a shit anywhere nice for, 3-4 months?
Yeah, I think it's abusive.
Like, think about this. There's been an empty room next to them this entire time until they picked up Maria, and no one ever said, y'all want to split up here?
Yeah, y'all want to smoke?
So y'all want to smoke?
Yeah, it's weird.
Elly tells Faye after that here the gravity is opposite, but refuses to explain why.
Yeah, we don't know. It's just they have.
It's
to do
just
that.
like a neat sci-fi touch.
Yeah, I think I this may have been. We're in the middle of producing our Perfect Work stuff right now, and I don't know if I read this in the Perfect Works or somewhere else, but I feel like it's somewhere I read that the gravity is inverted so that the Solarians can look down into the sky or up into the sky. They have the ability to like change things around. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, no. If I needed.
To feel like you're in heaven, to feel like you are in Eden, into this, you look down and you see clouds, you feel above people.
That's some major egotistical bullshit that I'm not entirely sure benefits the populace of Solaris.
It doesn't, but the egotistical bullshit runs hard here. As we're gonna see some stuff coming up. But yeah, this would have been a perfect moment in the game to have that part where you like control two parties and you flip back and forth like Final Fantasy VI.
A divided party thing, right?
Yeah, but the game doesn't do that.
Yeah, in the Xenogears remake that doesn't exist, you will definitely have at least 3 teams infiltrate Solaris from different angles, different dungeons.
Yes, exactly. And you'll have to like flip it. It'll be a cookies and cream style.
Whoa, good pull.
What a pull.
Nice, from Software's finest.
If you've played Adventures of Cookies and Cream, please write us, please, and let us know that you're cool. But anyway, you'd have to go flip a switch or whatever. Stuff like that. Faye's pretty weirded out with the new gravity, and then as soon as I think as we gain control of our party, Invasion begins to play.
The sneaking music.
Good old sneaking music. It is time for some tactical espionage action. But not really, because Faye's like, hey, there's a shipping container right there, and I need to be in it.
Yeah, Elly tells us this is a distribution center for all of Solaris' stuff, so we're in like the backroom warehouse of the level, and Faye's like, cool, what's in this?
Yeah.
And what happens when you get in a strange shipping container in anything?
I don't know. I'm like, Faye, this is supposed to be a sneaking mission. We're supposed to be careful about how we handle things and sneak and be subtle, and it's not like we're in the country of the overlords. Like, the strongest military in the history of this planet is here, and Faye's just gonna go jump in there.
Yeah, this elite incognito entity nation. Just get in this pod, dude.
He's full Goku.
Yeah.
He's going all the way Goku.
So, of course, its surprise closes and takes Faye away.
Absolutely.
This thing is actually shipping container 1416, and it takes us to K-Block.
It does. K-Block is basically an Amazon distribution center.
Yes.
Where they kill you if you talk back, which is also called an Amazon distribution center.
And also, not now, but within, I guess, 5 to 10 years, you will also live at the Amazon distribution center and pay your way out of your rented domicile in like a work-to-live country thing.
Yeah, so doesn't some NPC try to rebel and then the robots just drop them off a cliff?
Dude, yeah, like as soon as we walk out of our little pod and it does like this massive pan around this K-Block. So like it's pretty clear that these things are miserable living quarters because there's a hexagon computer with a DOS prompt. There's a futon combination tanning bed.
Yeah.
A toilet sink, which is highly valuable, which is how you know we're in the future land here.
Exactly.
And a personal computer.
Yep.
So then we exit, it explores the whole massive area, and describe the Solarian aesthetic to you in K-Block.
I'm glad you brought this up. Well, K-Block specifically has that classic sci-fi look to it.
Yeah.
I think we get closer to that once we get out into the first class
citizens
section.
The first class citizens.
But it's all very sleek, and it looks like the inside of the transport ship at the beginning of Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, the very first Star Wars,
I don't know if
the blockade runner.
I don't know if that's the origin of that aesthetic, but it feels like it came from that classic sci-fi. I mean, Arthur C. Clarke sort of era.
Yeah.
Science fiction.
It is white and clean.
Yes, indeed.
So, as Chris alluded to a second ago, I think, A concerned citizen, capital letters on that, is standing on top of the building, screaming about working like machines all day. What happens to that guy?
That dude is killed. I think he just gets dropped off a cliff.
He's picked up by a tiny drone machine and cartoon dropped into the abyss.
Yeah.
When this happened, like when it picked him up, I thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if it just drops him into nothing, and then it just fucking murdered him?
Yeah.
He's done.
We are getting we are getting exposed to the Solarian aesthetic from the perspective of the third class citizen right here.
Yeah, and Faye is now by himself here.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatter amongst the NPCs here about the re-education.
Yeah.
Here.
I went and talked to a bunch of NPCs. Give me some NPC dialogue.
Well, the main one I have noted is when we meet Samson.
Okay. Before that, I've got some.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of them, the first guy I talked to, like witnessed that thing happen, and he goes, "How can you not be happy with all of this? Do as you're told. Get promoted. What is there to be discontent about?"
Wow. Okay. This guy's definitely worked in corporate America.
Yeah, he's either beaten down or he's bought all in. One of the two.
That's pretty much my philosophy in life.
Yeah. There's some other guy who's pissed about the guy who yelled and says that his behavior will wipe out all of the work their block has done to raise their rank. So this implies there are multiple blocks like this, and they've all been put in competition with each other by their capitalist overlords.
Do you know that Amazon does this, by the way?
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Oh, here's your overtime tokens, buddy.
Yeah.
You can get a raffle and get a fire stick.
Yeah, you're not going to get a pay raise, but how about this raffle? Aren't raffles fun?
God, this game predicted a lot.
So yeah, so I went into block, you can get on these elevators and ride into like different little apartments. I went into block 1361, and there's a guy who looked like a monster who said, "God, because of him, I'm probably going to get rearranged. God, if you're in there, save me." So when he says rearranged, do you instantly think fascist brain scrambled re-education?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what's happening here.
Is there a, maybe you know this, is there an origin for the concept of reprogramming people?
Oh God, I'm sure.
Does it come from a...
Yeah,
I feel like I've seen it in like many different genres of
most
sci-fi.
recently read recommended by you, Ancillary Justice, and it was a big part of that too.
Oh yeah, true.
So I mean, it is a common sci-fi trope, but without researching it, I couldn't point you to the point of origin.
It's just,
1984, I think, was a big part of that too.
Yeah, it probably goes back to that kind of stuff. Maybe that's where the influence is. We know Takahashi was a fan of classic sci-fi, Arthur C. Clarke, stuff like that. So
did you go into this block and talk to this guy?
I did.
When it gets out, it fucking takes his block away. Like the crane comes out and removes him, so he's done.
Yeah,
he actually predicted his own death because of that guy that went off.
Yeah.
So what I immediately noticed here is everyone in this block isn't wearing future space clothes.
No, they're just wearing like dirty Kislev Ave clothes.
There's definitely like, there's a couple different things, but it's still definitely like a rags person aesthetic. So that made me think, oh shit, there are really levels of society even inside secret societies.
Yeah.
Like they still need... Like, did you ever see that thing about how there was like a supposed conference of rich people that discussed what to do when Doomsday actually happened and how they motivate people to still serve them after the collapse?
Oh.
Initializing fake net.
It's a 2017 article from The New Yorker called Doomsday Prep for the Super Rich.
Like, that is, it was some like off the record thing where they're like, well, how can I get them to protect me if I'm hoarding all of the money? You know, people trying to solve logistical problems with retaining their wealth after collapses like this.
Yeah.
And this is the answer to it, is you enslave a lower class, keep them off from you, and make them work for weird ass incentives.
Wow.
So I think this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's funny how even like the lucky ones in an ultra rich society still require a slave class. And then my next note is Bunker Boys. I have no idea where I wrote that down. Does that make any sense to you?
Bunker Boys?
Yeah, capital B, capital B.
I don't know. There were a couple of, or maybe there was at least one where there was two dudes hanging out. I'm not really quite sure.
Just shooting the shit.
Did you find the guy that Faye thinks is Timothy?
Yeah, dude. That was weird, right?
Yeah, I think it's the same sprite.
It's Samson. And that makes me wonder if that was originally part of the script or if the localization team had the visual of this and saw that and was like, let's fucking say it's Timothy.
Yeah, that's funny. Samson says that he knows Faye from the tournament.
Yeah, at the Blood-Evic tournament. He says he lost in the first round and passed out and wound up here.
I have a question. I don't know if you remember this, but one of the items that you win in the tournament is called Samson's hair.
You're right. I forgot about that.
And
what a connection.
Yeah. And
goddamn.
Yeah. And that's a reference to Samson's hair is a biblical reference, right?
Yeah. I don't remember, but I think he cut it and lost power.
Yeah. I don't know. The Bible's weird. I mean,
little Samson, rare Nintendo game.
Yeah. I've played it before. I mean, an emulated version, not the real one. So he tells us that a female Gebler with auburn hair is looking for us, or a female Gebler, and Faye says, "Oh, with auburn hair," and he's like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna help you escape.
Yeah,
go get your girl. Let's go." And I'm not really sure why he offers that. Maybe just because there's some familiarity, or he's got this plan.
I found him after I'd already
Oh, really?
Got our girl, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I did miss one thing, though. There's a guy in 1111 who says that we need to work, eat, sleep, not complain. And then a person in D-Block gear tells us that everyone in K-Block is getting rearranged. And I thought that was interesting commentary about how Nordtune has D-Block, and that shit, Nordtune is ultimately a product of Solaris control. How that idea of an underclass filtered down to the land dwellers.
Interesting.
Like how it's like the Solarian ideals of societal structure were passed on about blocks and all that stuff.
So once we find Elly, she tells us about the concept of worker bees.
Yeah.
And then Faye's like, oh yeah, this place is laid out like a beehive.
Yeah, Elly is in 1041, yet another little honeycomb thing you can go to. She says there's 20 blocks with land dwellers in all of them. And Solaris has their entire DNA structure.
Yeah, they inscribe the DNA as a method of what, keeping track of people?
I guess so, keeping track or control, or like who to re-educate so they don't re-educate the wrong person. Because we've been there, right? When your buddy's misbehaving and you scramble his brain up and he forgets who he is, and it's like, oh shit, that was my wife I was supposed to scramble.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't drink during re-education. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely don't do that. Samson, we have to go back to talk to Samson. Oh, yeah?
Elly said she took a field trip here when she was younger, which is the absolute perfect shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's of like the rich people visiting like the poor people like they're animals in a zoo.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when I don't know, do we have any equivalent field trips in this neck of the country? Where we go and we look at lower...
You and I did that.
Go to a soup kitchen?
Yeah. Chris and I went to a high school where we had to go hang out with poor... Chris and I went to a rich kid high school.
Yeah.
Where we had to go hang out with poor people for a day.
I think the concept of that is to try to drive you to feel empathy.
Yeah. It's to give you a taste of how it could be for people.
But I don't think it's effective when your brain isn't fully developed.
No. I mean,
you're just kind of like, I don't want to say disgusted, but you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, like
you don't see those people as the same as you.
Right.
When in fact, if they have you do that when you're 35, you might.
Yeah, I think that should be like instead of corporate retreats, you should just go do that shit. I think some of them do actually.
Well, yeah, my company gives
Habitat for Humanity.
My company gives you hours to go volunteer.
Cool.
80 a year. Congrats. Right. Anyway, yeah. So
did she tell you where Satan was?
No. I don't remember.
He took a different pod.
Oh yeah, he
took a different pod.
He knows a different way. Are we reading Satan right now as totally being conflicted about where his loyalties are? I mean, he was kind of that way when he was talking to Yui.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what direction he went in. I just know that he knew once Faye got in there where it would go.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Like that's because he wouldn't let Faye do something, especially in Solaris, that he wasn't absolutely sure was under his control either direction. Yeah. So in my head, Faye is still on the path that Satan sets out for him. So did you have to bring Elly back to that pod for Samson?
We have to go back to Samson. He gives us the work permit and gets us into the tower.
He gives us a work permit and then he says, "All right, see you there." Then we go out by the door to exit this block, and he's dressed in the stormtrooper gear.
Yeah,
like just hanging out.
It is stormtrooper gear too, isn't it?
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, which is also another fascist.
There's a lot of Star Wars and Solaris, actually. A lot of Death Star type of sneaking action going on here.
They all have British accents here, secretly.
Sure they do.
Most of the Gazel ministry does.
Yes, we do, Eric.
He demands, once he lets us in, he demands we split up because we're getting ready to enter a maze, but really because Samson can't be in our battle party.
Yeah. He doesn't have enough frames of animation.
So then we go to, do you have anything else for F block?
No, I don't. I titled this next section as Horrible Sneaking Section.
Yeah, you said tactical espionage action earlier. I think it's more like left or right, look out, like proto-Tenchu stealth.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this in the past, but this game comes from an era when JRPGs are beginning to try to cram different types of gameplay.
No, they're full in it. This is the prime for that stuff.
Yeah, this is being developed at the same time as Final Fantasy VII, which was maybe the master of that at the time. But Xenogears, we've got all the platforming, we've got rope swinging and lots of other weird things.
Speed.
Speed cards, yes. So now it's time for us to sneak around robots that have a very ill-defined cone of vision.
Yeah, we sneak around a very white and clean hexagonal tiled hallway with emerald highlights. There's glyphs that are occasionally emblazoned in the walls.
Yeah,
it has pod-like future elevators.
Yes, it's sort of impossible to tell where you are. Like those glyphs are not very directive in terms of guiding you in the direction you need to be going in.
Like all of our memories, this isn't quite as big as I remembered it being.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
sure.
you really can't get lost even though it's a maze because there's only so many places to go. But there are 2 floors and multiple sets of elevators to take to get you in the right spot for this.
Yeah.
Whenever you get encountered by these things, these patrolling drones that look like guitar picks with like electronic shit all over them.
Yeah, sort of. There's a couple of additional lines in them. They're not like complete like triangles.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
More, they've got a solid base, but yeah, they're
as
weird.
far as drone technology for 98 is pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. It's completely devoid of any authored personality. Like there's no like evil face on it, but it still has it's still sort of scary, I guess, because it's so simple.
They speak. They say, "What are you doing? You are ordered to withdraw." And is this, I forget, do we fight them here or do they set us back to the beginning of the dungeon?
They send us back to the beginning of the dungeon, which is a super ineffective way of dealing with intruders, by the way. They don't send out an alarm to anybody. Like no one is...
Solaris has to step their game up.
Yeah.
Chris, what year in our society do we have drone cops?
Currently?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's those little fucking fucked up robots that roll around some big cities, but like I'm talking about like hovering, effective, electrocute citizen drone cop. Give me a prediction.
I'm going to say 2023.
Damn, that's like 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Fuck. I was going to say like 2040.
No.
Okay.
They've already got drones. There was a local story recently where like someone's like, there are drones flying around looking in our apartments and we're pretty sure they're the cops.
Great.
Like that was an LMPD story.
Mm-hmm.
Like fuck the police, by the way.
Fuck the police. If the drone pulls the trigger, man, you can't. The human didn't do it. Drone kills you. You can't prosecute.
My kid asked me earlier. I asked my kid earlier what he's going to be when he grows up, and he said a police officer. And I said, why don't you make video games? And he goes, yeah, I want to make video games.
There you go.
And I said, how do you make video games? This is a 4-year-old, and he goes, well, first you got to put characters in them. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right, buddy.
Games need character. You don't just put entities.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mario doesn't fucking work anymore.
Yeah.
He's either horny or he's hungry. One of the two. What?
What? Okay.
Have you seen Mario beat anything else ever?
Horny or hungry?
Yeah. Luigi's multidimensional. He is afraid and excited. And lustful.
Is this an original thought?
Yeah, I'm just improvising.
Okay, I like it.
Okay,
I was wondering if this was a reference to like some sort of YouTube analysis.
I mean, you could like pull out to that porn that has Ron Jeremy dressed as Mario.
No, we're not doing
Ron
that.
Jeremy is both hungry and horny.
Like Facebook, we're not doing that. So yeah,
we meet back up with Samson.
Yeah, at the scanner thing.
Who wants us to he wants us to continue ahead, but there is some kind of AI security machine in the path.
Do you know how when you go through airport security and you have to go in that big, huge body scanner?
The thing where you raise your hands and it spins and it looks at your dick?
Yeah.
That
thing. This is kind of that, except for the weird thing is there's no TSA. It's just there's no attendance here.
That part's been automated as well now.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Solaris as sort of the predictor of Amazon, it kind of has taken its efficiency to the maximum level, so they don't need human attendance to these things.
Do you think you have to do a weapon scanner when you walk into the Amazon facilities?
Go through a weapon scanner?
Yeah.
You do. I worked at UPS.
I know at UPS you did.
For a certain period of time. You have to go through like a guard shack where they...
I didn't know that.
Yeah. This was in Lexington. I don't know. I'm sure they do it here too because it's the airport. But yeah.
Cool. Well, again, if you've played any kind of game where you meet an NPC who you talk to but can't stay around forever, you know it's about to happen to Samson here.
He sort of we are explained how this thing works.
Yeah,
Elly does.
Yeah, he tries to go in it, and Elly informs him that he's not a Gazel.
No,
and asks what he is going to do. What does Samson say?
He said, "I'm good. I used underground technology to rewrite my ID, so I'm good."
Yes, Samson has underground technology, and you know what? Samson has like met us, and within 20 seconds was like, "I'm gonna help you escape."
Yeah.
Like, dude, you know what's up, dude? You are my angel. You're my hookup. You have gotten me where I needed to go tonight, sir.
He actually
go first.
He is the perfect Samson.
Yeah.
So anyway,
he's fucking vaporized.
He's not good. It's not good for Samson.
He is reduced to nothing. He is eliminated.
Samson's existence was very short-lived, but let us not forget about Samson when we discuss non-portrait characters one day.
In the Xenogears, let us not forget. In the Xenogears remake, it eviscerates Samson so badly, it's fucking Event Horizon in that room. After they're finished.
Some time into his death. And this is weird. This next part's weird. Elly wonders if, hey, we don't have any choice either. We just have to chance this, right?
Okay, so that's what she says. But if you look at that machine, the sides of it don't extend to the ceiling. No, they're about 3 feet high. You can just walk on top of that shit, man.
Yeah, we've been platforming for 50 hours now. We know how to jump.
You can jump over this, but they don't. So Elly just kind of wings it and walks through.
Yeah, Faye, before they go, Faye wonders if she's like, are you being like Bart by just saying that we'll worry about it later?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Faye, damn, that's a sick burn. I mean, I know she's your girlfriend and all, but I don't know if we're at the point to where we can have playful, jabbing at this point, but he goes for it. Also, it's very difficult to have a we'll worry about it later attitude if you're dead.
Well, maybe if Faye sees Elly doing that and compares it to Bart, and then he likes Elly, then he also realizes he likes Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Relationship choice right now, make or break. This is where you make the choice that determines who you end up going to the Normandy's back room with.
Yes, exactly. It's all mechanical.
Yeah.
Relationships are all just ones and zeros.
Yeah,
right?
you just got to put
that
enough
simple.
like sex tokens into the...
Fill a meter.
That's right.
Fill the romance meter, and she will love you.
Mm-hmm.
Mass Effect, I think, was bad for the psyche of anybody who was like a 14-year-old playing that game.
Yeah, but Saints Row 4 cleansed it, allowing you to fuck everybody except for Keith David.
You've taken over cities and toppled rival gangs. I've conquered Hollywood and have a name to uphold. It just wouldn't work between us, you see?
Ah, true.
Even the robot. So we're really just fucking rolling the dice on this one. Elly walks through.
She's a confirmed Gazel.
Yes.
First-class citizen.
She's surprised she's not labeled as a traitor.
Yeah, I think they suspect that maybe they haven't deleted her shit because they don't want to admit failure.
That or admit failure, or also I imagine like the person deleting this stuff is probably a third-class worker, like doing routine work where he can't see what files he's deleting, but he's definitely deleting them.
He hasn't learned VLOOKUPs yet.
Yeah. Also, they're dealing with like Windows 98 in there, and I don't know how deleting stuff on that actually worked.
Empty the recycle bin.
Yeah. You put it in the recycle bin, of course.
Yeah. So, and they also, this thing also has another like key deficiency where they can just kind of like hug each other and walk through at the same time, and it won't.
Yeah. Like you think this would be down to the molecular level where it has to like, if you're going to do this, you walk at the exact same movement, same time, same distance. But no, they just like walk real close. Like he essentially, you know how when you teach someone to golf, you like put like your crotch end up to their ass end.
Yeah.
And you like swing the golf. He does that and walks through it with her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't golf, by the way. I just watched Happy Gilmore last week.
Oh, well.
And that's the first analogy that came to my mind.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
Have you watched any other golf movies?
I've seen Tin Cup in my life.
Yeah, I think maybe I've seen half of it.
And that's Caddyshack.
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Oh, fuck. You watched that?
No, my dad watched it.
Okay, that sounds like a dad movie.
My dad's a golf guy.
Okay.
He's not a podcast guy like his son. Okay, so...
Yeah. So
cool, time to ride a cool elevator, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Then we go to second class block.
Yeah, Elly has to kind of talk her way past the guards for a second.
Elly employs to get us through the Chewbacca defense, where she tells these well-dressed guards that Faye is her prisoner and she's transporting us.
God, so much Star Wars in this section. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's also like a popular trope too, right?
But still.
Like again, in the Xenogears remake, it's the from Thor Ragnarok, the send help sequence.
Yeah.
That's what you do instead to copy your modern influence.
Sure.
So the intendant, who we see next in like a little meeting room, is intimidated by the concept of Gebler and tells us that we need to pass through.
Yes, let's go.
So we go.
Sure, we're there. And now we're out here.
We get a brand new music track.
Yes, it is called
Solaris, Eden of Heaven. Describe this music?
This music in the... Can we just talk about the music and the whole vibe of this area? Because we're in...
So...
Etrenek? Is that what it's called?
Etrenek, yeah.
Etrenek.
We're supposed to, like, it's been projected as, like, fascist zone, ultra future, ultra tech, and what do we get?
We are actually... We're painted the picture of Disney Tomorrowland.
Yeah, it's fucking silly.
Yeah,
it's a silly song.
There's
it's a goofy ass song.
It's all very... The whole vibe is like, oh, we're in the Jetsons now.
Yeah, that was my exact note. It's like, oh, we're in the Jetsons. And I know that this is Mitsuda and not Nobuo Uematsu, but this reminded me in Final Fantasy VIII of when you get to Esther, and it starts playing Silence in Motion, which is like a blippy, poppy, weird, goofy song that like this future society isn't great and advanced. It's fucking silly.
Yeah, there's been a very specific picture of Solaris painted in our heads for the course of the 40 to 50 hours that you played this game to this point.
Yeah.
And you get there and it's like, oh, these are just weird future space people that are just hanging out.
Flying cars, future hallways.
Yeah, it's utopian. It's almost it's the natural extension of any sort of super classic sci-fi utopian societies.
People here are very privileged.
They're very, and there is the level of fascism and classism that we know about, that we know from the dealings with Solaris that we've had, has kind of seeped into the society here.
Yeah,
but most of the time people are just like happy. They're talking about their pogo shoes and
oh god, yeah. I've got a whole NPC section here.
Go ahead.
But just this place also, I think, maybe set the tone for second Miltia in Xenosaga.
Oh yeah,
as far as its future clean society city.
So it's interesting because we're here. We've broken in. Think back to like what Maria said when we came in, where she's gonna be the wings of death to everybody.
Yeah,
and we went to murder everybody.
And now we're
here, and we're like, wait a minute. These are just. I mean, they are people that have been sort of reprogrammed by a fascist emperor, but they're still just people that are living here. Are we planning on just murdering all these people?
I mean, I think this is what it is supposed to give us pause to that, because I think the entire impression I get here is these people are rich fucks, but they don't necessarily are personally responsible for pulling any triggers.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got an NPC rundown here. Did you have any ones that stood out in your mind before I break these fools?
Within the area where you can shop.
Yeah.
There's a lady that talks about how the service is so good that the items are already at your home when you get there. Again, Amazon.
Right. That's what they're into now. That is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. One kid got a new arm when he cut it because they have biotechnology to regrow his arm.
Yeah. There's actual stores in there where you can buy a crimson vest and a feathered cap to make you look like a total fucking doofus like everybody else here in the land of doofuses.
Yeah. There's a hologram dancing lady. Projected.
That actually has a name. It is the DK1200. It's a hologram bikini girl dancing with a scarf.
Oh, I thought the DK1200 was
you're right.
Toy gear.
Yeah, that's the fucking robot. My bad. My note got mixed up. We can also get a matchlock gun for Billy. Did you get the name for the ticket clerk?
No.
Ticketmeister.
Ticketmeister. Hell yeah.
And then when I tried to buy a ticket for something I didn't know yet, it said VIP seating is all sold out. Please enjoy it on Home Vision.
Home Vision.
Home Vision.
Home Vision.
Yeah, I think we see a couple references to that because we're starting to get a buzz of about this impending. They keep calling it a ceremony.
Yeah,
where the
dedication ceremony,
where the emperor is going to appear and speak, but it doesn't really feel like a ceremony. It's more of just like a public address.
Yeah. Before we get there, though, there's one NPC that tells us there's a service to pick your partner for marriage performed with the descendants of DNA, your descendants' DNA in mind.
Oh, God, I had missed that.
So you can design or baby your kid in advance by picking the correct person to inseminate.
Again, we have that.
Selective breeding, very awesome.
We kind of have that today, sort of.
A lady calls me odd and blocks the way, and I have to jump over to pass her. And I just imagine this doing in real life, where somebody's saying in front of me, I'm like, no, lady, excuse me. Then do a running jump and just clear her with my girlfriend tagging along behind me.
Yeah.
There's the pogo shoes kid, like you said. The guy got his arm from bio sampling. And that same guy that had the new arm also told us there are no crimes, disasters, or wars like on Earth.
Yeah.
He also called it Earth, which I think is curious.
Interesting. I wonder if that's a translation thing where they said the Earth or the, you know what I mean?
Initializing fake net.
The boys will decode this one in the Perfect Works Patreon series.
So yeah, one guy says that as long as they have the Emperor, everyone will know peace. And that made me think the Emperor is more of a figurehead than an actual governing body. Which leads me to another question of, is Sidon in on this? Does Sidon recognize the Emperor's authority, or is he playing into the whole false dignitary thing?
That's a really interesting question, because we've seen Sidon have like really
the JPEG conversations,
personal conversations with the Emperor, and he's addressed him with honorifics too.
Right.
Like,
I mean, Sidon could be playing him too. Maybe everyone makes the Emperor think they're important.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching Succession now, and like the main figurehead dude in there, everybody has to like bend the knee to him, even though he's rapidly decaying.
Yeah.
There's another lady who asks if we're Entrenstrolling. Do you know what that is?
Yes, that is walking around the track. You know what?
Yeah. What?
We have these now, sort of.
You can go Louisville-ing.
Yeah.
Louisville-ing.
Yeah.
Louisville-ing.
Yeah. I mean, we had things like the walking bridge. Corporate office buildings will like section out areas to where you can walk around and get some exercise during your break and stuff like that. We had that.
Yeah. Exercise during your break on your time, fucker.
Yes.
And there's another lady who says that she'll be very proud if her son joins Gebler when he grows up, which made me think, yes, soldier, the most noble of professions.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I've got. Did you go into the apartments?
The apartments? Yeah. You kind of said this, but like you get a general sense from a couple of different NPCs out in this whole section that the word of the strife that is occurring on the surface is kind of spreading.
Yeah.
And that's why people are kind of upset. And that is why this imperial address is going to occur.
Like before you even see the Emperor speak, you know that they're going to spin it to the populace.
Exactly.
They're going to go Fox News this thing out immediately.
Yeah. People seem to be generally unaware of like the nature of Solaris and their nefarious dealings. Again, I mean, this is America, Amazon, whatever parallel you want to make.
Right.
I think also we tend to get a good sense of like this caste system that's been built here, because people are kind of talking about third-class citizens and how they don't want to go there and things of that nature. But yeah, next we head to the apartments.
Yeah, the first room I go into has two NPCs spinning in circles, and who's one of them?
One of them is Big Joe. He's dancing with a hologram.
Yeah,
and when you talk to me,
you know, when you talk to him, he'll say something, but his portrait won't come up. He just says 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
and this becomes important later, probably in our next episode. So the room also has a poster of a black horse with a guy's face in the background, which I thought was some weirdo art.
That is weird.
So across the hallway from that is a lady who tells me you can't buy real plants unless you're a first-class citizen.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, the dynamics of upward mobility.
Indeed.
You got to get to first-class citizen to get plants.
Thanks.
Also in her room is the infamous poster of Tifa.
Yes, I noted that as well.
There's also a little kid flying a black remote control alloy Imperial gear.
Is that the DK-1200?
I think so, maybe, and that's like the name of it. Did you get the dialogue from that kid when she was flying it?
No.
She gleefully says, with exclamation points, "Purge the lambs."
Oh, wow.
As she's flying it.
That's harsh.
Yeah,
okay.
Dude, fucking indoctrination.
Wow.
I mean, I definitely like had Transformer battles where I was killing evil robots, but I don't know that slaughtering the innocent populace, maybe that's leveling up your society.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or down, or whatever you want to call that.
Yeah. It's whew.
So I think you go upstairs and there's another set of two apartments, and there's in the third room there's a lady with she has a bad back.
Yeah, she's like, Solaris cannot cure my bad back.
Yeah.
Even though that other kid got an arm.
Yeah, well, maybe the other guy had more money.
I don't know. It's
or
weird.
Like had a better job or something that required him to use his arm. If she doesn't need to use her back for a job, why the fuck are they going to replace it?
Maybe they can only cure like immediate wounds and not chronic pain.
Sure.
They don't have opioids yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, opium's not there yet. Smart. So this solves the problem of needing to get tickets to the dedication, which a soldier tells us back at a gate if we try to move on. He's like, y'all got tickets? And
no
ticket.
No ticket.
No ticket.
Great job, Eric.
Thank you.
Did you notice that once after you have the tickets and you go back out into the town area, the area where hologram dancing lady has turned into Cain?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, and just like sitting on a throne or something like that, or
it's like his portrait, I think.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I think maybe people are getting ready to tune in on their home vision.
Their home vision.
Cain, yeah.
Before I went to the dedication, there's one more room.
Oh yeah.
Did you talk to the memory cube guy?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I didn't write it down, though.
He says you can rest easy if you send your data to the Central Control Bureau regularly.
Ah.
So at this point, you're sure that the save points are more than save points, right? Like that's been referenced like 6 or 7 times at this point that these are more than save points.
Yeah, Hammer talked about them. Luca talked about them. A couple of other people, too.
Yeah, there's been some...
The Ministry did, too.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite things when it ended up being revealed because it's Not like explicit Kojima shit, because that shit hadn't even happened by the time Xenogears, but it is like some fourth wall breaking stuff.
Yeah, it is a little weird. It's almost like if you put your memories in here, no matter what happens, we're going to be able to reprogram a body to come back and be, it's weird.
Yeah, we should go on AGDQ and play this whole game and then like have a paradox happen when we never use the goddamn memory cube.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Throughout the entire game.
We would destroy the game.
That's right.
Get on that, Cadmoni.
Yes, sir. Don't do that. So, anything else for the dedication ceremony?
No, it's time for the ceremony. We go up there and we cash in our tickets and...
Flight plays.
Flight plays.
Along with some crowd noise.
All right, is it... Oh, okay. I wrote down Blue Traveler, but I think I'm wrong.
I could be wrong, too. We'll have the fake net sorted out.
Initializing fake net.
Chris is correct. It's Blue Traveler.
Blue Traveler plays. Billy's not here. It is a weird tune to be played here.
Yeah.
Regardless of which one it is.
It's definitely, we're running out of music, and we just gave you guys a brand new song.
Yeah,
so
we need a festival tune for a fascist festival, so let's go.
Yeah, so we're hanging out in this small platform that faces a blue dome thing, and a blue... like a pit of blue fountain waters around us, and the top of Solaris is visible through a glass ceiling. It's a cool procession of 6 airships that pass by and line up in formation.
Yeah, there's like this long plaza. It almost looks like a Washington, D.C. mall kind of, but it's full of futuristic white, clean buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that... is it surrounded by water? It looks kind of ethereal. I'm not sure if it's
it could be
water
future
or not.
juice.
Yeah, but it's a pretty cool little bitmap that they're probably only going to use for this one section. It's really effective.
It is a unique art piece that they definitely spent some time on.
That large windowed sort of encasing that kind of starts to pull back reminds me of like the Lucas Oil Field Stadium dome in Indianapolis, that the dome can open up.
Is it the one where you witnessed the grievous human injury?
Yeah, but that was a basketball game, so it was closed.
Yeah.
But yes. And there's at the very end of that plaza, there's like a large dome with an emblem. I guess it's the Solaris emblem on it.
Oh, I thought you meant a Lucas Oil. Yeah.
No, that's not there. The Solaris emblem was not there. Maybe it is now, who knows. Peyton Manning was pretty weird, so.
And then Cain rises up out of a hilarious chair at the end of it. Just like shoots up.
Hilarious chair is better than what I wrote. I wrote down floating future throne.
Yeah,
but that works too,
same
I guess.
thing.
And then Cain gives a speech that is outside of a text box, just kind of floating in the sky.
Yeah, are we... his sprite rises up, gold chest plate, wearing a mask. So in the Gazel sequences, I use a Indian accent for Cain.
It is this voice.
But I think we're going to get... Chris is as you learned last time, maybe our new... Speech reader, and I'll be Chris's speech manipulator to make it different from his Bart voice.
To make me sound like Cain, okay.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to sound like Emperor Cain.
My beloved children, you can be at ease. The Gazel ministry and I planned the destruction of the gate long ago. The people chosen by God, we, the Gazel, will return to God's paradise. To the sleeping Mother God, the time for immortality has come. We have opened the door to Nisan, the place where God rests, the source of wisdom and power. The surface dwellers will no doubt use this opportunity to seize its power. However, there is no need to be concerned. As long as Solaris has this power, let's show these stupid beasts, the lambs, our real power.
Yay. Chris didn't misspeak, he didn't mess it up. That is actually very hard to do, as I've learned by that perfect work stuff.
Yeah. This is some true racist, fascist bullshit.
Yeah, this is classic shit is going bad propaganda cover-up.
Yeah, this is really effective. Can we talk about some of the terms that he uses here?
Yeah, let's break it down.
We know what the Gazel ministry is by now.
Right.
We hear about the sleeping mother god.
Didn't Groff also reference mother god?
Groff is maybe the only one that, to this point, that we know about, or that has referenced the mother god.
Mm-hmm.
Groff wants, obviously, to kill the mother god. Cain wants us to return to our sleeping mother god.
Us, the people chosen by God, which is more classic cult leader stuff.
Yeah, it's some real classic cult leadership stuff. And I think, if you've read The Perfect Works, you know that there's some science behind this too, but we'll get there when that emerges in the story.
This whole speech is a Marshall Applewhite, Jim Jones, commit suicide immediately afterward speech.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that Groff wants to destroy Mother God, Cain wants to return to Mother God, gives us maybe... We already kind of knew this, but it gives us our sort of definitive proof at this point in the game that Groff and Cain are opposing forces.
Yeah.
But Groff is not necessarily on our side. We don't, like, us as Faye and Elly and friends, we don't really have an opinion about Mother God yet, do we?
Nah.
We don't like.
We're still on the ride.
We
Haven't
know
gotten
that
off the
Groff
ride.
wants us to kill Mother God, but we're not really down with Groff because he always tries to kill us, kind of.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. The crowd cheers.
Yeah.
They're very into this.
They're super into it.
And you know what's even weirder is that sort of happy, hopeful song is still playing in the background.
Yeah, right.
While the crowd cheers while he's giving this speech.
Like as he's also waved off the gates breaking down indirectly, saying they don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
We're going to take revenge. But then the sky goes dark.
Fireworks too.
Yeah, a colorful barrage of fireworks are shot into the night. Into like the suddenly nights, like it turns night briefly real quick, which is weird.
Then, first we cut back to Faye and Elly.
Yeah, Faye catches Elly absorbed in the spectacle.
Yeah.
Like she's hooked into it. I didn't read that as Ellie's not paying attention to Faye. I read her as like she's mesmerized by Cain, just like the populace, because she's been trained to do that.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Faye does mention that he's worried about like what's going on. Then it flashes back as if we need him more.
Yeah, there's more. Who rises up next to Cain?
Krelian, he emerges.
Rise up, gamer.
Rise up. So
Elly IDs him as the true leader of Solaris to Faye. I don't think Faye's met Krelian yet.
No one has met. We've not really seen Krelian outside of
Miang, right?
Outside of me. Well, we saw him in his fishbowl. We've seen him in the Gazel ministry sequences, but none of our characters have actually been in the same presence as him up to this very point. He says, "Children of the Emperor, please open your hearts." And we prepare for a Krelian speech, but it cuts back and Elly knows him. And as you said, she identifies him as the true leader of Solaris. Faye feels a weird familiarity.
Yeah.
And we get a flashback to something. Is it a flashback? Is it a flash forward? Who fucking knows? But we do, and we get a song playing.
It's the treasure which cannot be stolen. You get it right? Good job, Chris. I had to look it up.
I forgot to go back and look at all of it and confirm my musical tracks.
So it's not clear if it's flashback or flash forward because Faye's wearing Faye clothes.
He is wearing Faye clothes, but sepia tones have taken over a little bit. So I get the sense that it is a flashback, and I think we'll be able to extrapolate that further in a second.
Plus, if you're playing a JRPG, if it's a flash forward, it's the future and everybody's fucked.
That's true. Unless you're going into the future in Chrono Trigger, then everybody is fucked, but maybe you can rescue them by using a time machine.
It's a possibility.
Chrono Trigger podcast coming 2085. The Faye-like character is praying in the Nisan Cathedral. We've been here before. And then blue hair Krelian.
Yeah, dude, anime Krelian.
Yeah, gotta have blue hair. He approaches and calls him Lacan.
It's been a long time, Lacan.
We have heard of Lacan, Eric. When was the last time we heard the name Lacan? I know the answer to this, by the way.
My first guess is the first time we actually saw the painter, Faye the Painter, which was the Sophia painting when we were at the cathedral. As far as someone saying Lacan out loud, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that's the only reference.
Is that it?
We could be wrong, but yeah.
Doesn't like the screen say Lacan in white text at some point?
Yeah, it is Lacan painting the portrait of Sophia, and she says something to him and then says Lacan, then he walks out of the room, the unfinished painting, all that kind of stuff. So we know that this is taking place during at least somewhere around the
500 years
realm
ago.
of time of 500 years ago when this painting was.
And this is a
created.
reunion of some sort, right? They're both back from somewhere undetermined.
Yeah. So Sophia had told Krelian where Lacan was, and he mentions that he had come home to get more paints.
Yeah, Lacan said he had to come home to get more paints, whereas Krelian returned from the battlefield.
Yes, and he says he has left someone else in command of his unit, and then he mentions that with Solaris, this is not an exact quote, but he basically says, with Solaris being out here, things are more dangerous.
Yeah,
so
he said because of Solaris, as in Solaris is the agent that caused all of this strife.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is interesting too, because we're seeing Krelian being affiliated with an opposing force to Solaris. We kind of already have the understanding that Nisan and Shavat were aligned at some point with versus Solaris and the Ethos. But so I'm assuming at this point that Krelian is aligned with the opposing side.
It appears to be.
I don't know if this is the point when Solaris and Shavat were at war, but I'm assuming as such.
Right, that's what we have to assume because of the limited information we have. So then it shifts from the cathedral to Nisan.
Yeah, they're talking in Nisan.
Krelian and Lacan are talking.
Krelian mentions that he's studying under Melchior.
Yes, under a teacher, Melchior.
Is Melchior the one with that was the nanotech?
Yeah,
guru?
that's the one that removed our limiters, I believe. Because Tara is not present and Balthazar is Old Man Ball, so that has to be Melchior.
Yeah,
I can't say that name correctly.
It's okay. It's no blooded dick.
Jesus.
So Krelian, he's been reading some books, Eric.
Yeah, Faye asks what he's been studying.
Krelian's woke as fuck because he reads 3 books a day now.
Yeah. Sophia tells him the best way to calm his heart is to read a book. So we get a Sophia name drop.
Yep, another one.
So motherfucker then says he reads 3 books a day, as she said, and then Faye calls him out for only thinking about, quote, the art of war. Not the Sun Tzu book, presumably.
Egregious oversight and correction. You call him Faye. It's Lacan.
I don't care who it is, Chris.
Lacan, yeah, he says art of war, that's all you think about. And Krelian's like, no, dude, I'm a great student of the biblical wise man. Did you hear what I just said? And Lacan says, well, that's great, buddy.
Yeah.
Sure. He kind of pats him on the head, and it's not like...
How about you stop killing people? What do you think about that?
It's not like when Lacan does the head pet, that's great, buddy thing.
I know, buddy.
He doesn't... It's not one of those things where was not the intent of the original script, because Krelian actually takes some offense to that. And he's like, no, dude, I don't like your patronizing tone. You've got your painting. You've got your art. You have something to pour your heart into, and I don't. It's kind of what he comes back with. Scene cuts and then anything else?
No, that's all. And then we go to Mysterious Lab.
Yeah, or the scene cuts and it pans across Nisan and it fades, and now we're in lab.
Yeah, there's a tube vat thing like what they keep the aliens in Aliens.
Yes, or where we saw Emeralda in before.
Yeah, so we assume, but it can't be Zeboim, right? Because that was buried a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't think it's definitely not Zeboim.
So Melchior is here.
Yes, and Krelian is kind of showing off his science experiment, and there's some chatter about how this particular technology, which I'm assuming is nanotechnology, will save their lives, and then Krelian says, even Sophia will, ... and it trails off.
Yeah, we don't get to see what exactly he's talking about, but he doesn't imply it'll save their lives. He says people, as in everyone's lives.
Yeah, so maybe Krelian has some altruism to him here at this point in time. And maybe Krelian still does, I don't know.
I think he's being set up as a either complicated or setting up a fall from grace type thing where the hero lives long enough to become the villain.
Absolutely, yeah. So then it flashes back to the present. Faye comments about how Faye feels like he knows him.
Yeah, him.
And then Krelian's speech continues.
It's funny that Elly catches Faye zoning out. It makes me wondering if Elly wasn't mesmerized by Cain, but was having her own maybe flashback toward the person she looks like.
I mean, it's very, very safe to assume that Elly has some sort of cross-generational reincarnation thing going on too.
Yeah, as well.
Because we've seen Sophia, obviously. So Krelian's speech continued. Would you like me to read Krelian's speech too?
Elly offers to translate, which is a detail that comes important in later. But you can read it for our context. But since I have Krelian as a down-pitched female voice, I was thinking about having Tiffany read it and down-pitching her voice.
Children of the Emperor, please open your hearts. The gate we control was removed by will of the Emperor. However, there are foolish beasts here defiling our holy land with their feet. These beasts destroyed the gate and want to remove the Emperor from the throne in the confusion. This is a grave matter. The Emperor's throne has been polluted. We cannot rest yet. Those imbeciles have been caught and shackled like the dogs they are.
So yeah, that was Krelian's speech, which my immediate thought about how all that shit was a psyop about how Blast destroyed the gates and are threatening Solaris. And
he talks about how as his speech concludes, he shows us the holograms of the people of our friends that he has captured.
Yeah, that's cool.
He has not captured Citan, Hammer, or Jesse, but he has everybody else.
What a trio, dude.
Yeah,
that is a spin-off comic.
Now, this is important because Citan and Jesse, they know their way around here.
Yeah,
and Citan even is maybe a double agent, so he wouldn't necessarily be captured. Even if Citan is on our side, he could still kind of hand wave that away and say, no, I'm here with, I'm implanted. Jesse, obviously, he knows his way around. He's a badass.
Did Sigurd come?
No, Sigurd did not come.
Okay.
You can't leave that ship with Bingo.
Yeah, Bingo and Mason can get...
No, I would not trust Bingo and Mason. Mason would sweat too much and Bingo wouldn't know what to press. So anyway, Hammer's not there either. So Hammer didn't get caught.
Yeah, that's weird.
And Hammer's the most out of place motherfucker there is.
Why would he come?
He only knows how to operate in D block. He does not know how to operate anywhere else.
Damn it,
That's why he's been confined to a single room on the Yggdrasil. He can't leave there. He doesn't have free roam. His sprite doesn't even walk around the room like Choo-Choo does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly.
He says Krelian says the Emperor's throne has been polluted. How do you interpret that?
I don't know. That is a weird line.
Like that they've defiled his presence by attacking the gates, maybe?
Yeah.
And then he says imbeciles have been caught and shackled like dogs.
Yeah.
And then our friends are revealed.
I think maybe the polluted thing is more of maybe a translation issue.
Oh, yeah.
He's framing this as they're insurrectionists that are coming to take him off the throne.
Sure, it's not like I've been polluting this chair that you've given me.
No, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's more along the lines he's been threatened. Faye's upset, by the way, because all our friends are captured.
Yeah, and what does Krelian say he's going to do to our friends? Where are they going to go? They will be disposed of in the Soylent System to revive the Gazel of old.
Yes, I do have that here. This is the first time we hear of the Soylent System.
Yes.
Let's not talk about that reference until we get to the reference.
That's right.
This has something to do with preserving the Gazel ministry, apparently.
Yeah, this is where we get a little bit of a breakdown on this. Elly tells us the Gazel are purebreed Solaris people. The word means first-class citizens, but she says in this case, he's referring to the ministry.
Yeah.
Who's lost their bodies, quote, protecting the Solaris people.
Yes, and we kind of know that because they're kind of in an AI tube or whatever. Not a tube, but in the
technosphere. Yeah. Elly says this is all a cover for some kind of experiment. And like after Faye sees all this shit, he wants to go fuck shit up.
Yeah, he's ready to go beat ass.
Yeah.
Faye's always ready to go beat ass. He often has to be talked down by his friends. He's like the guy at the bar who wants to start a fight, kind of.
Yeah, he likes to fight guy.
Except for he usually
wins.
He does usually win. Also, he usually has good intentions.
Yeah.
It's not like he just wants to fight a guy because he looked at him wrong. He really wants to go save his friends. Elly convinces them that they need to bide their time and go find Citan.
Yeah, Citan will have the plan, sir.
Faye tells her not to be a snot.
Calls her a snot.
And tells her that she hasn't really thought through this yet. So maybe not a great thing to say. I understand you're upset, Faye, but maybe don't call her snot.
If this were made in 2003, he would have used a gendered insult, certainly.
Yeah, probably. 2003 is a very specific year, and you're absolutely right. What year did 50 Cent Blood in the Sand come out?
Blood in the Sand, 2007.
So yeah, that era. Okay, cool. So we're arguing. You know, have you ever
2009. 2009. Sorry.
Have you ever like gotten in an argument with your girlfriend in public, and then like you get a little bit too loud and people start looking, or at least seen people do that, or had a loud conversation with anybody that kind of it happens. That happens in this game, and as soon as it happens, the guards notice the fuse begins to start playing, and it's time to run.
You've made a goddamn scene, son.
Yeah. Elly and Faye have made a scene here. Maybe that's an indication that the relationship has progressed a little bit.
Faye says, "We've been discovered."
Yes.
Which, when you're discovered, is not what you say.
No, it's not.
You don't say they're onto us and have no... Like, I would say that because I'm an idiot, but you're not... Come on.
It's time for the robots to chase us.
Yeah, they hunt our ass as we take off, and then they find us in Arbot Plaza.
They do. And the only thing that can happen in an RPG at this point when you are surrounded by robots is that you jump into the sewers.
That's right, dude. You leap off a fucking balcony.
And then you land, of course, in I don't know if it's really a sewer, because I don't know if... I feel like Solaris probably disposes of their waste by like just nuking it and turning it into like nanobots. And
and they feed it to K-Block.
They feed it to K-Block, or they just disperse it out into the world.
Yeah,
like
drop it
pollute the earth.
Like when airplanes drop the piss.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. But nonetheless, we are in some sewers. There's some water running through there.
It's funny after they jump the cubes, the drones can't believe it because this shit's never happened before.
Yeah, no one would do this. From us. Yeah,
right.
Hey. Usually we just kill them.
Yeah, so it's an effective measure, and that's when our chapter ends.
So yeah, we've jumped into the sewers, and we have gone into Solaris, Eric. And now what is it time for us to do?
We need to escape Solaris.
Yeah, we got to rescue our friends first, too. But the next chapter is called Escape Solaris, with the implied escape Solaris with your friends. So we're done here.
We did it.
We're done. We did it. There's not really a save point here for us to stop, but this is a nice little break in the story, so let's end it. Thank you, Eric, for joining me here tonight. Stay tuned, listener, for outtakes. I think we had some tonight. Follow us on Twitter, Retrograde Amnesia Pod. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Send us an email at retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, Mark.
Shepherd.
Elusive man.
For the intro track. It sounds terrific, and we will always love it. And don't forget that I think that if you've made it to this point with us, if you've made it to episode 34 with us, then you're probably already subscribed to this podcast. But if you're not, smash it, my dude. Until next time, Eric.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now, you may go back to sleep.
My best public argument was when I was upstairs using the elliptical machine one time, and I forgot that I put the lock on the front door that you can't open with a key, the screen door.
Mm-hmm.
and it was 100 degrees outside, and Tiffany was home from work in her pants and work clothes, and was beating the shit out of the front door and screaming.
Oh, no.
And I couldn't hear her because I was doing the... Oh, boy, when I opened the door, she got very mad because it was like a half hour later.
Oh, no. Oh. I find that after you have... Like, most of my, like, hey, you're being too loud lately in my life is just because of me, like, yelling at my kids.
Yeah.
Because you know how, like, a lot of people... This happens. I mean, I've done this too, but, like, people, like, sometimes just let their kids go buck wild in public. I don't give my kids any leeway for that shit.
Sure.
At all. And so sometimes I get frustrated, overly frustrated, so that can come out. Dodge it.
Fucking shit.
And I'm like, if you stand still and you're not moving and you're not continually moving and attacking, I'm going to come after you and beat your ass. The Fae-like person is
He's Fang.
Prey is Fang.
Mm-hmm. You want to finish rappering? Or is that not picking up? Is your shit that good?
It's picking up, but it'll be below the noise gate.
So should I talk in a normal voice like this?
Yeah, talk however you want. I'll manipulate it. It just has to be a woman speaking.
Children of the Emperor, please open your hearts. The gate can...
A little bit slower.